Welcome back to the channel. Today I've got some of the most unbelievable Reddit stories people have ever shared. Grab a snack, get comfortable, and make sure you stick around until the end, because the last one is wild. I've never told anyone this, but I know what really happened to my brother. It's been years since he disappeared, and the police gave up on the case. They just assumed he'd run off, like a lot of teenagers do, but I knew better. I knew something was off. See, my brother and we were super close, we shared everything, and I mean everything, so when he just vanished one day, I was frantic. I had no idea what to do. The cops were asking me all these questions, but I just couldn't shake the feeling that I was missing something, that there was something I should have done or said. I spent years trying to move on, to just get on with my life, but it's hard when you're carrying around this huge secret. And that's what it was, a secret, this burden that I'd been carrying around for so long. And then, out of the blue, I get this text message from an unknown number, just 2 words. I'm sorry. I was shocked. I didn't know what to do. I just stared at my phone for like an hour trying to process who could be sending me this and why now, after all these years. I finally worked up the courage to respond and we started talking, and that's when I found out my brother, he's been alive this whole time. He'd been in some kind of trouble, and he had to leave, but he's been keeping an eye on me all these years, making sure I was okay, and that text, it was him, reaching out, apologizing for putting me through all that pain. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it, to be honest.
I'm really weird. I'm angry. I'm used.
I don't know, it's a lot to take in. But the craziest part is, he wants to meet up, to talk in person, and I don't know if I'm ready for that, if I'm ready to face him, to forgive him. I just don't know. I still can't explain what was standing at the end of my bed that night. Okay, so it started a few months ago when my grandma passed away. She was a really sweet lady and I was pretty close to her, but I didn't expect her to leave me anything in her will because, I'm not exactly the most responsible person in the family, but it turns out she actually left me a pretty sizable sum of money, like a few $100,000, which was just insane. At first I was totally ecstatic. Who wouldn't be, right? I could pay off all my debts and, start fresh, basically, but as the days went by and I started getting these weird phone calls and letters in the mail from creditors and lawyers and stuff, I realized that apparently my grandma had some pretty significant debts of her own that I was now responsible for, which I had no idea because I guess she didn't want to burden me with it or something. So I'm trying to sort all this out and I'm stressed out because I don't know how I'm going to pay all this stuff off, and I'm lying in bed at 3 a.m. or something and I feel this presence, like someone's in the room with me, and I look up and that's when I see it, this figure just standing there at the end of my bed watching me, and I swear it was made of shadows or something, and its eyes were exactly where my grandma's eyes used to be when she'd look at me with this deep, sad concern, and now every time I see a bill or a collection notice, I hear this whisper in my head saying, "You'll never be done paying." Am I wrong for calling out my boss in front of the whole team? So I've been working at this marketing firm for about 3 years now, and I've had my fair share of run-ins with our boss, Rachel. She's always been pretty demanding, but lately, she's been taking it to a whole new level, constantly belittling us in meetings, never giving any positive feedback, just always criticizing. And I'm not just talking about our work. She'll make snide comments about our personal lives too. It's just really unprofessional. Anyway, yesterday was the last straw for me. We were in a meeting discussing this big campaign we've been working on, and Rachel started yelling at our team member, Alex, who's only 25 by the way, saying he's not doing his job, that he's useless. It was just so out of line. And then she had the nerve to say, "If you can't handle the pressure, then maybe you shouldn't be working here." Alex was visibly shaken and I just lost it. I looked Rachel straight in the eye and said, "That's really not okay. We're all trying our best here, and we don't deserve to be spoken to like that." The whole room just fell silent, and Rachel looked at me like I'd just committed some kind of crime. She told me I was being insubordinate, and that I needed to learn to take constructive criticism. But honestly, I don't think I was out of line at all. I was just standing up for myself and my colleagues. So am I really the bad guy here? Am I wrong for kicking my sister out of my wedding? So my sister, Rachel, she's 32 and I'm 29. We've always been pretty close, despite our age difference. We'd fight and stuff when we were kids, but as we got older, we kind of grew apart, but still we'd hang out, and I considered her one of my closest friends, or at least I thought I did. Anyway, my wedding day, it's supposed to be this perfect, amazing day, and it was until Rachel showed up late, like an hour and a half late, and she's already drunk, stumbling around, making a scene. My wife, Emily, she's 27, she was getting really upset, and I'm trying to just, roll with it, but then Rachel starts going off on Emily, saying she's not good enough for me, that she's just using me for my money. I mean, it was insane, and I'm trying to calm her down, but she just won't listen, and at one point, she actually says, "You're making a huge mistake, Chris. You're gonna regret this for the rest of your life." I mean, what are you even supposed to say to that? So I finally just lose it, and I'm like, "Rachel, that's it, you need to leave now." And my mom, she's trying to intervene, but I'm just like, "No, Mom, she's being completely unreasonable." And then Rachel storms out, and the rest of the day is just like this huge awkwardness, but also kind of relief, But now everyone's saying I overreacted, that I should have just let it go. That family is family no matter what. So, am I really the bad guy here? And that's it for today. If you enjoyed these stories, do me a favor and subscribe. It really helps the channel. I'll see you in the next one.